Hello and welcome back to a weight loss check-in. This is the last weight loss check-in. What I set out to do originally was to play games and lose weight playing games. Whole reason I started to do this. I failed at doing this month. So, although I am still working towards losing weight, doing things to lose weight, I'm not entirely playing active games to lose weight, and I can't judge for sure how much weight I'll lose by playing games when I'm not really playing the games. I am exercising for the most part. I have that little pedal bike thing that I was using and the walking around that I've been doing, so I've been active. But I'm not playing active games in order to lose that weight. And that was the whole reason to do this. So, because I'm not doing that, I'm no longer going to be doing any weight loss check-ins on Tuesdays. They'll be filled with something else starting next week. I have a few ideas in my head about what I will do, to where it's just going to be kind of me still checking in, but checking in on you as opposed to me. I mean, we'll still tell you like where my weight's at and things like that. So at some point during the video, I'll just mention like, hey, I'm down this many pounds this week from last week and stuff like that. For those of you who were interested in that, I didn't really get a whole lot of like comments or anything on the last two videos that were like curious about it. But I mean, that was also only two videos, so it's not like I gave it enough time to really get to that point. And it's more of a, I guess, self thing than it is for something that would be entertaining for others. It's more like self-improvement, and if you're not into self-improvement, which my YouTube channel, I'm still kind of figuring out what it is I'm going to be doing, and a lot of it's based around video games. And if it's not video games on my channel, if I try to do something that's not video games related, then I don't think it'd be as interesting. Like, I had a lot of people come and join for New Year, New Game who were excited to see these new games coming out every day and actually getting to the point of playing 65 games in a year. Now that it is a new year, and I'm not doing that anymore, and I'm keeping to playing just new games once a week, there's not as much activity on the channel. I have Rain World going on, and there are a handful of people who do find Rain World interesting. It got a lot of hits for New Year, New Game, which is why I started playing it. I am now coming to the point of Rain World where it just kind of seems like I'm not really getting anywhere, and it's a lot of just playing the game, kind of just going through the motions of surviving throughout the day. I don't know, there doesn't really seem to be like a goal in mind. So because there's no real goal in Rain World, we're going to be coming to the end of Rain World as well. Luckily, there's going to be a new series that is going to pick right up and take its place, and that is going to be Pal World. That's right, another world game. Pal World has recently come out. I have been playing so much of it as of recording this. I am up to 13.4 hours. I absolutely enjoy this game. It plays a lot like Ark Survival. It's got the charm of Pokemon, but mixes it with an open world aspect. And God, having that open world with Pokemon, that's like something that I've always dreamed of when open world was becoming a big thing. Like when Skyrim and Oblivion was out, and that was like my first open idea, or kind of like introduction, there we go, into open world type games. I wanted other games to be like that too, and to have Pokemon like that I thought would be amazing, because it's kind of was in the handhelds. Like, you had the different areas that you were going to, but having like side quest or being able to get a first person perspective of the game, to just see Pokemon out walking about, just in doing what they do on a daily basis, you know, just being whatever animal they are, is really interesting. So getting that kind of ecosystem environment feeling from Palworld is what I was looking for with Pokemon. And the fact that with this recent one with Violet and Scarlet, it isn't like that at all. It was very buggy in the beginning. It really put me off with the amount of like bugs that I had in the game, the kind of like clipping through the mountains and stuff like that, just the way the camera angles would light up. I wanted to go back to like old school Game Boy Advance 2D at that point because of just how bad it was. Story wise though, it had an absolutely wonderful story with like 3 different stories going in at once, and it was kind of odd and like they didn't all fit together, but the stories that they had were very decent ones. Having an open world like that, but still not having like a whole lot of side quests and things. You've essentially have 3 major goals that you're doing, whereas normally like Pokemon games are collect gyms, go to the gym battle, or they had the one where it was like the contest, going and doing contests, collecting ribbons, but it wasn't too different from badges. With this one, you had so much opportunity to do other things, to introduce different aspects of a Pokemon game other than just catching and battling. You could have explored other options, and some of the stories like fighting the gigantic Pokemon, getting the sandwich ingredients and stuff like that story, that's a really good story. That's a sad story. It made me tear up. And then the story with the Team Rocket, in quotes, of the game, finding out that they were being bullied and just wound up becoming the bullies. And having that whole situation of like the principal trying to get these students back into the school. So that was a fun story, but like those types of things, you could have put like little types of quests like that into a game as well. Like side quest, you could have made it into an RPG. And the way that the Pokemon were kind of like introduced into the environment, with the environment being buggy and then like Pokemon are just kind of not quite all there, it really kind of threw it off, the whole open world aspect of that game. And then saying like, oh, you can go anywhere in the world whenever you want, it's bullshit, because I can't be with my level 10 Pokemon going over to one gym leader who's at level 20 or above, or even around in that environment, because my Pokemon are too weak. So I can't really go anywhere. There is a path that you're supposed to stick to, you just don't tell us what it is. And we just gotta figure it out on our own. So, bullshit to being able to do that. With Palworld, it's a little different. It's open world. I haven't noticed any real bugs. The only thing that's annoyed me with Palworld has been the building. And that's because I have one pal that follows me around and kind of like floats and gets in the way. He's like right in front of you at all times. So when I'm trying to place down buildings or anything like that, it's in the way. And was dumb to me. Building's a lot like Arc as well. I don't even want to say that because Arc's building was kind of like, I didn't really enjoy that too much. But this building here is a little better. It's not perfect, but it gets by. Like I'm enjoying it. All the different things that you can do though, the exploring, finding different teleportation places, defeating like the boss battle that you have in there. There's only 3 towers, and it's 3 major boss battles where you're battling like another tamer type person. I don't know if they call them pal tamers or what they are, along with a pal team up type thing. Like that first boss battle was difficult but fun, and then the other 2 I haven't gotten to yet. I'm gonna get to them. But going into like dungeons that just kind of seem like they randomly start or appear, and then going to fight like larger scaled pals with their little underlings as well. Going in and doing that, that's fun too. I've been enjoying that and the kind of like Dark Souls combat. I think the rolling needs a little more work on it though, because I don't feel like I am invulnerable for a period of time when I roll. I'm still getting hit and it still damages me, but the explosion, like the power of the pals and everything like that, that's what I expected from Pokemon. Like if Charizard's going to do a fire blast or a fire attack, just seeing that blast of fire come out is awesome. And that's what happens with Palworld. Something, they shoot electricity, you see the electricity, you feel the explosions. Wind just zips right past real fast. I mean, it's been really fun. I've really enjoyed the game, and I've recorded all 13.4 hours of gameplay with Palworld. And I think that's surpassed Rain World, yeah, because as of recording this, 7.6 hours with Rain World also recorded. But I'll probably come back and put some Rain World videos, or it may go down to where it's just like once a day. And then Palworld might be 2 to 3 times a day, or 1 to 2. I'm not 100% on the details, but that's what's going to happen. Dynasty Warriors Gundam is complete. I have gone through and defeated all original modes with the pilots that were left. So I'm going to be moving on to another retro game. I'm just not 100% on which one I'm going to do, whether it's going to be Champions of Norath, Dot Hack Part 2, or Dynasty Warriors Gundam 2. I might hold off on doing Dynasty Warriors Gundam 2 just because I feel like if I continued, I would get burnt out and wouldn't go all the way through with it. Dot Hack Part 2 I really do want to get into because I don't want to forget or lose or have too far of a gap between 1 and 2. I played all of 1 on this channel. I want to play all of 2, all of 3, and all of 4 on this channel as well. And then I just recently obtained another copy of Champions of Norath, and that game was so fun. It has a sequel, and I never really got into the sequel, but the first game I remember having tons of fun on, and I would like to play that and touch on that. If anything, I would do a singular video of Champions of Norath just as an introduction thing to show you how the game's played and what it's like, and reminisce about what I used to do and things like that. Eventually making it into an entire game series, and then even going on and trying out the second one as well. But I don't have to rush into that. So, saying all of this out loud, I think Dot Hack might be the next one. Or you'll see the one-off video of Champions of Norath, and then it's going to go into Dot Hack. But yeah, I like retro games. I get quite a bit of retro games, and I want to focus on playing these retro games. But there's also a lot of new games that come out that are amazing. I get games monthly through a subscription service that I want to try and I want to play. Games go on sale and I want to take advantage of the fact that they're at a discount price as opposed to paying full price and getting these games. And it can be a tad bit overwhelming, especially with making sure that I'm recording myself playing games and keeping it in order to upload to the YouTube channel just in case I come across something interesting, because there has been multiple times where I chose not to record and then something happened and I was like, oh, that would have been great to put on my channel. But video games is definitely something that my channel is going to be a big part thing. I don't know, that's gonna be like the niche, is video games and things that are video game related. I dabbled on or thought about putting like miniature painting or other hobbies that I do as well, building Gundams, things of that nature. I don't think I'm going to do that. If I do something like that, I'll put it to a different website or a whole nother YouTube channel. I don't know, that just seems like it'd be too much to get another YouTube channel. I'm trying to focus on just this one And I think focusing on multiple channels would be absolutely ridiculous. So we'll just stay stuck on this one. All right, so weighing myself this morning, I weighed 294 pounds. That is a 3-pound gain. It's like 2.6, but 3-pound gain is where I'm keeping it at. It's not a huge gain, which is great, and it's under what I started at 296.7, but it's a gain. I don't want to do 2 steps forward, 1 step back the whole way around. And kind of fluctuating between losing and gaining, I don't think is good for your body. I think that causes like stress on your body when you do something like that. I understand entirely why it went back up, and that was because diet-wise, I was not focusing on eating healthy. I was focusing on going out and having a good time with friends and eating, and just ridiculously eating a Saturday and Sunday, both weekends. I go out to eat, and it's at buffets. Now, I could have just as easily picked healthier options and ate less. However, to go to these 2 specific buffets, it is expensive. If I'm going to pay an expensive price, I'm going to want to get the most out of it. I don't see this being a frequent thing. As a matter of fact, for the both that we went to, one of them I've been to so frequently with my friends because they like to go there, but I'm getting a little burned out on it and not really enjoying it. I want to try different places, so I think the next time they decide they want to do this, I'm gonna pass and not want to go. The other place was a brand new place. It was called Texas de la Brazil. It was a Brazilian steakhouse where they had a all-you-could-eat salad bar. So I definitely took advantage of that and had a lot of salad. I thought, this is great. Salad bar, I'll load up on veggies and things like that. And then they had people who would come around with kebabs filled with meat. Sausages, flat steak, leg of lamb, chicken, different types of chicken. I just was saying yes to everything that was coming over, and definitely overindulged on a lot of it. But for the price that was almost $100 just for myself. I had to take advantage of it. That's just how I felt in this moment. It was so overwhelming the way everyone would come to the table and like, here's meat, here's meat, here's meat. So I'm not going to be going back to that place again for a while. It's not going to be like an every week thing or once a month or stuff like that. It's like once a year, maybe, on like a celebration. Go down there. But that was just so much. I went yesterday, and like as I'm recording this, it's the next day. I still feel full. I still feel like So yeah, I don't think I'll be going and doing that again. But I'm gonna get right back on to what I was doing with losing weight. But now that I'm not focusing so much on playing a game that causes you to be active, but just being active and doing things, I think I can see my weight drop more significantly because I was just sticking with like walking, or I was doing the pedal bike thing because I was like, oh, I'm not really going anywhere. Why not try this? It's more active. It'll make me do things. I'm gonna do a variations of different stuff now that doesn't involve video games. So I think I'll lose more weight that way. And then of course going back to my regular diet that I have been doing. Yeah, I'll see a significant change going forward. But being mindful of it, I'm not hating myself for doing this either. When I'm like, I gained this amount of pounds. I know why I did. I understand why I did. I know I'm not going to repeat it again. Moving on. That's all you have to do. You should never really beat yourself up when it comes to these types of things. You need to understand why this happened. You gotta get there. You know, I know why this happened. And then you just gotta accept it and move on. Because it's happened. There's nothing you can do to change it. You can help yourself prevent it from happening again by understanding it. But beating yourself up over things like this isn't really worth it. So, moving on, back to the diet. Not gonna be eating at buffets anymore. As often anymore. Yeah, I think that's about it. Nothing else really on the table that I have going on. I mean, I could tell you about achievement hunting that I've been recently doing. I have 2 more achievements with Dynasty Warriors Gundam that I need to obtain. I figured I wasn't going to record myself trying to get these because it's going to take a while. I gotta shoot down so many Gundams. That's going to take a long time, and then gain all of the skills that they have for on like one character. In order to do that, you get a skill after beating a mission. So I'm playing one mission over and over and over and over again. Luckily, since I've beat original mode, I can choose different Gundams to use. So I'm getting them to like 10. I'm playing as the Mushu Gundam, which is cool. And then once I have got that at a max, I'm going off to another Gundam to try and play, or another mobile suit to play that one. There's some where like Mushu Gundam, for instance, wasn't available in original mode. He's not tied to any particular character. He doesn't have his own story. He is the bad guy that you fight at the end, and not always the last bad guy you fight at the end. So getting to be able to play as him, awesome. He's a really fun character to play as. I think there was one other, was like the Banduke that Jared has in, God, was he in story mode? I think so. I think they had Jared in story mode because he went through a couple. He usually does Gundam Mach 2 Titans version and then goes on to the Banduke at the end, but it's only there for like one mission, is the only time that you play it. So if it's available in original mode, I'm going to switch. I'm going to play that. I do record myself playing it because I'm waiting for the moment of where I get the achievement, just so I can do like a little highlight thing, and you'll see a video come out where it's like, bam, I got this achievement, bam, I got that achievement, 100% done. Dynasty Warriors Gundam finished. I'm so glad I did that. That would be the second game I have 100% all achievements on an Xbox 360. I'm going back and trying to do that. I'm doing that on Steam too, where I'm trying to focus on doing that, and I'm gone back and started playing Poker Night at the Inventory. So this is a Telltale Games game that is no longer available on Steam because Telltale Games went bankrupt and went away, and they have recently come back, but they did not bring all their other games back. Not to mention that this game uses character IPs and references from various games. So I think licensing wise, they can't use them anymore. So I'm glad I got the game when I did. Highly recommend. It's a very fun game. I've enjoyed it. You're essentially playing Texas Hold'em at a place called the Inventory, which is like a secret underground games company where they hold a poker tournament, and you play Texas Hold'em with Max from Sam & Max, with Strong Bad from the Homestar Runner series, Heavy Weapons Guy from Team Fortress 2, and Tycho from Penny Arcade. All of you know who any of these characters are. Heavy Weapons Guy from Team Fortress 2 is probably the one that stands out, like, oh, okay, I know what that character is. And he's a silly character. They do a bunch of witty dialogue with one another and like back and forth and stuff like that, and it's absolutely hilarious. Of course, when you've played the game for a long time, you've heard all the dialogue already, but as you progress through and win, you get new decks of cards. It's still the same deck, it's just a cosmetic. A new table, which can change things. Like if I use the red team fortress thing, all of a sudden Heavy Weapons Guy's got like a poker hat on. And Yeah, stuff like that happens. But I have 3 achievements I have to do there, and it's getting a consecutive all-ins where I'm just going all in, all in, all in each time and winning. That's pretty difficult to do. That's probably going to be the last achievement I do because I'm just going to keep going all in, all in, all in hopes that I win. Next is going to be 4 of a kind, so I have to win a hand with a 4 of a kind. I've only ever gotten 3, haven't gotten a full 4, and then winning a hand with a straight flush. That is a run of numbers altogether, so 5 runs of numbers, like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and they all have to be 1 suit. So it has to be heart, diamond, spade, or it's cloves is the other one. Might be called something different. Clubs, not cloves. That's a lot more difficult to do. So, yeah, I go in here, I play a few hands, I go through, I try to get these different combinations, and then I move on. That's pretty much it. Not recording myself doing it because I haven't recorded myself playing this game for my YouTube channel. So I didn't find it important enough, but it would come across once I actually got all the achievements and would show it off. Mind you, I have only ever gotten 3 games with 100% complete ratings on them, and all 3 of them are Telltale games, from the first 2 Walking Dead games plus DLC to The Wolf Among Us, which is also another Telltale Games series they're getting ready to come out with 2 for. And the only reason that I have completed those is because it's really easy. I can go without having to start the entire game over, right into the middle of a chapter and just make different decisions and be able to get the 100% complete rating. And now I'm focusing on trying to get it for other games that I'm relatively close to getting 100% on. I'm 91% complete with Chivalry Medieval Warfare. However, the second game is out. The servers are not quite as full on the first one as much anymore, and it's harder to get these last few achievements that I need because I have to just shoot with a crossbow so many times. I have to be a king on one of the last team standing, something like that, where you got to kill the king at the end of it. In order to get to that point, you have to be like the best on your team to get the king and then stay alive for so long. So I don't think I'm going to be getting that. I don't think I'm going to be completing it. I'm as high as where I'm at, so I don't go back and play that game. Lego Marvel Superheroes, I just have to do things of like unlocking certain characters, doing all of the getting all the golden bricks, getting Stanley, saving him everywhere, transforming all the characters that can transform. It's just a lot of like minor things. It's going to take a while to get there, but it's obtainable. Batman Arkham Asylum, I have to go back, play it on hard mode, which I wish I did when I first started playing it, and then doing all of like the Predator missions and the stealth missions and combat missions and doing things through like free flow combat. All obtainable, just kind of difficult to do. I'm really close with Mortal Kombat 1 too, because when I was playing that, I was like, I'm gonna focus on just doing the achievements and paying attention to like what achievements that I need. So maybe that'll be a game that I get 100% complete too, but it's not one I'm currently focused on. It's just those 3 or 4, including Dynasty Warriors Gundam on the Xbox. How about yourselves out there? Do any of you focus on completing games, like getting all the achievements for them, or whatever options you have inside the game that's not a part of the achievement, but you feel the need that you have to do every single thing inside the game to say you have officially beaten it? Let me know in the comments down below. Anyways, I think I've babbled on enough. That is going to do it for me. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next game. Goodbye.